This is Ouch My Wallet, hosted by Robert Simmons, a production of the TFYLP Network. Hello everybody, and welcome to Ouch My Wallet for August 5th, 2020. A show where we talk about what Transformers we bought recently and other toy hauls and all that good stuff, part of the TFYLP network. And tonight we have a new guest with us. We have Mr. Phil.
Good evening.
And we have our normal cast member, Paul.
Hey, I want to know more about Phil. Where'd you come from, man?
Would you give us, a short introduction? What do you like? What's your sign?
Who are you?
I'm a guy who, for the past 5 months, has just been in this basement constantly. I've become a little golem of a human being that doesn't leave my basement, and my toys are my precious. No, I'm from Chicagoland. Been buying Transformers. My mom came home one day with a little yellow car that I thought was Bumblebee and turned out to be a yellow cliff jumper. I realized 20 years later, and since then been buying Transformers, and took a little break during Beast Wars, and Beast Machines is what got me back into it.
Really?
And, yeah.
That is because most people, even people that love Beast Wars, there's a lot of falling off of at Beast Machines. People are like, oh man, it took a dive. I mean, I enjoy it, but
yeah, I mean, you got like a cyborg-looking sleek gorilla versus like a kind of not so great 90s CGI gorilla. It's like I just thought the designs were a little bit better.
Yeah, Zaldron commented that that's something that no one has ever said, and I think that's you're the first.
Yeah,
Beast Machines got me back into it.
Yeah, it did, man. Thrusts like that little motorcycle. That thing's freaking cool.
It was I don't know, coming into it later, because I mean, I bought them. I was into it as a kid, almost all of us were, and I didn't pay attention to it at all until college. It was near the end of college when I started getting back into the hobby, and I remembered seeing Beast Wars on, but I never remembered even seeing Beast Machines on. But yeah, and it was I'd heard about how crappy Beast Machines was from everybody in the fandom as I was getting back into it, and I watched it, and I was like, other than Rhinox, I thought it was cool. I didn't like what they tried to do with him, but
yeah, Savage Noble was a little bit weird too.
Yeah, but that was what, an episode or two, or was he in it longer? I can't even remember.
He was it was more like a running season thing, or half a season. I don't know. The toy was kind of neat, Night Scream was a little weird with that little emo hair thing that they even made in the toy.
I don't. That's probably what I think a lot of Beast. Some people didn't like the plot, but the toys were crap, in my opinion. At least, especially compared to the show, they were so off.
They got better. The first wave of toys was lousy. Primal did not look like he did in the show, but then, they did a couple Primals that looked really good. I mean, the Rat Trap they ended up doing looked spot on. It just took them a couple waves. Silverbolt looked like garbage. That sucked because he was a cool looking design in the show. But it was early 2000s. You didn't, I mean, it's not like all the. It's not like all the toys leading up to that point were spot on to their animation, designs.
Do you have the knockoff Primal that's show accurate?
No.
It's a piece of garbage. I have it on my shelf over there. It's straight up his CGI model, but it's that thin Big Lots plastic, but it's a unique design, which is why did they bother? But somebody did, and so it's kind of. It's awesome just because it exists, not because it's quality made, but it's show accurate.
Yeah, I mean, who is the plant transformer lady?
Oh my god,
Botanica.
Botanica. Yeah. No, that was one that was kind of would that be a cool toy? I don't even know what her alt mode was. Was she a plant that turned into another plant? A plant that got a face?
Plant with a face. That's the name of my punk rock band, Plant with a Face.
Cool.
There's worse things I've heard.
So what else do
Better
you
than second
collect?
best.
I see some dinosaurs back there. What's that about? Those Dinobots?
Those are a combination of Dinobots and Beasts of the Mesozoic. Beasts of the Mesozoic was a Kickstarter that they did a couple years ago that they're about to start shipping the second round of those. So the first round was all scientifically accurate raptors. The first round was scientifically accurate raptors, and the second round will be scientifically accurate ceratopsians. And he's getting ready with the reveals right now of the scientifically accurate, Tyrannosaur dinosaurs. So they're pretty dang nice. And then Dino Riders is another.
It looks like a dinosaur with stuff on it, though.
Dino Riders, yeah. I mean,
yeah, they're Dino Riders.
Which has some of the best box art. If you've ever seen a dinosaur with guns on it, and somebody's like, "This is awesome. What is it?" It's Dino Riders.
Yeah, and I have a boxed one. This is not my original, but this was the first Dino Rider I was ever given. It was a Christmas gift from my grandfather, and so I was able to pick one of these up. And so yeah, he got it.
Oh man,
it's. I think someone took it out and then put it back in the box, but it's all complete in box. And
nice.
Lauren working over at Quake hooked me up on a deal with this a year or two back.
Oh yeah, if you're ever in Chicago, you have to go to Quake. That store is a madhouse, but it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I've got another Chicago store to talk about today too. That's not Chicago, but suburban area one that's a little bit newer on the scene. That's got some amazing stuff. It's a little more modern in terms of whether or not they don't do as much of the vintage stuff. But yeah, it's easy to drop a good amount of money there. And the guy is awesome.
What's the name?
Awesome about helping his fans.
What's the
place?
That?
Crush Collectibles in Elmhurst, Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, next time I'm in Chicago, I'll have to add that to the list of places then.
Yeah, he opened. He just got his 1 year anniversary, so he was open for like 6-7 months before all the quarantine and shutdown started. So he started doing I heard about him right before that shutdown happened, and started following him on Facebook, and he was really active on social media of just like, hey man, I'm gonna jump online. I'm gonna do a 20-minute video. This is what I got for sale. This is the price. You want it? Direct message me, and then I'll do curbside pickup. And he was really good about getting the fan base just hey, here's stuff I'm selling. Here's stuff that's in demand. Help keep me open. And now he survived and still it's definitely it's kind of funny because he's got like a limit. Most toy stores aren't huge, and his isn't either. So he's got a limit on how many people can be at the store at a given time. And most times I go, you got to wait 4 or 5 minutes before you can get in because there's, a good amount of people in there.
Yeah.
Even last week, I went there on a Thursday or Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock. And it's there was a line.
Well, that's awesome. So yeah, by the way, you're about to see a professional segue. So hold on. So, you're showing the Dino Riders, and one of the things I love about 80s toys boxes is all the awesome box art we used to get that you don't see, you just don't really see that, anymore, those painting style or whatever. But in the talking about cool box art, one of the things I'm going to get into, I'm going to do a very quick off-topic round before I get into my robots, is I got in NECA Metalhead, which I got a buddy in Florida who found it in Target. Friend of some of us here on the show. It's a Christian, a different Christian in Florida. Peter knows him really well. I think he might have actually introduced Peter to kind of our circle. But if you ever had the Ninja Turtle cartoon on VHS tape, this might look familiar. They even got the NECA logo done up like the old FHE logo. And the back looks like, kind of like screens or whatever of it. But yeah, if you know all the hubbub, this was a pain to get. My Target hasn't showed up with it, but I also don't go toy hunting a lot anymore. But yeah, picked him up as well as the NECA Target and Casey and the Damaged Foot Soldier 2-pack. Yeah, and I actually got those online when they went up.
Wow.
I
won the lottery?
I won the lottery. I mean, because they were up for 7.3 seconds. The Metalhead I missed, Casey I got.
Next, you're gonna tell us you got a numbered gigawatt.
No, I didn't. I missed that one.
Yeah.
Man, for anybody else that picks up the NECA, my knees on Casey are garbage. Like, they are warped out of the package. Heat wouldn't loosen them up, which is if you buy NECA stuff, the first thing you do is you take a hairdryer to the damn thing to loosen up all the joints, or they're just going to break on you. But even that didn't do it. I had to put silicone shock oil in the joints.
Oh my God.
Seep down to loosen them up so that I could articulate the knees. Else it felt like they're going to rip. Like, not break, rip. It's a weird plastic in those. And, like, the foot soldier was fine.
I've got that set. I haven't gotten to open it yet.
Well, I mean, I haven't heard anybody else report this particular problem, so maybe I'm just lucky.
Yeah.
But, other than that,
NECA's kind of notorious for the joints being a little stiff.
Yeah, they're, like, I don't know. I try to tell people that they're actually cheap figures, especially for as much paint as they have on them. And the sculpts are always just immaculate, but they're, the QC on them has always been hit or miss. And they cast this ankle joint is in his flesh color. And so when you articulate it down, it's not green, which, I know my webcam's probably not picking it up. So other than that, the sculpts are great, but I would be careful with them. But yeah, that's my off topic. Just because those were hot toys and they were a pain in the ass.
Yeah, real quickly, this is from about a year ago. This is the NECA Laser Shot Predator. So, I mean, just again,
another
like
wonderful box.
Yeah, the vintage packaging. So this is just to your point about, like, this is, and Paul here used to buy these back in the day, the Kenner
Aliens and
Predator
shit,
toys. Well, I mean,
let's be specific.
You got the Kenner Alien stuff, which is, again, they did the same style package. I opened it up and threw away the box, but they just did the Rhino Alien, which again was like, direct homage to the Kenner packaging. So again, you've got the little NECA logo down here looking like the old school Kenner logo. So yeah, NECA does an outstanding job of homaging, our childhood and getting us to spend money on it.
Yeah. So to get in my first robot that I got in, this actually is a kind of not necessarily a follow-up.
Wait, maybe you should explain to Phil how the process works here.
Yeah. That's what I figured me and you would go first and kind of help him kind of get into it. But yeah, what we do is we kind of just each take a round of toys and either, something you got in or a related group of toys. Like if you got in a Micromaster set or something, I'll be like, hey, here's the set, not one, necessarily one at a time. We kind of go through it that way, and we do rounds until, do maybe 3 or 4 rounds. Sometimes we'll do a speed round at the end, if the show's getting long, and some people have a few things they still want to talk about. But, anyway, so a couple weeks ago I got in this guy from Toy World, their Bulldog.
Nice.
And I got in their Bumblebee recently as well to go with it.
Ooh.
Which once again comes with a piece of wall. The best thing about the wall, and I didn't realize it with the first one because why would I? Like, well, you'll never get those to line up well. Magnets!
Oh!
Magnets are great. More people need to use magnets in everything forever. And actually now, on the underside, they actually have north and south written at all the magnet points. But yeah.
Wow.
So that's cool. Magnets are great. Yeah, they come with the bases.
It's, magnets are expensive as a unit, so it's like that can, raise the price, the percentage of cost, lower your profit margin quite a bit if they just you putting one in there. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Any of you guys ever mess around with the Palisades Muppet toys from 15 years back?
Can't say I have.
They're phenomenal toys. It's one of my favorite toy lines of all times. They would have magnets in the heads and in the hats to keep the characters' hats on.
Man, I can think of several toys that could use that. Like,
that's cool.
Like Ace Ducks, if you have the vintage Ninja Turtle line, his hat will not stay on. That's like there's so many that would be a good idea. But yeah, so this little dude, he was like 70 or 75 shipped, and
very gray.
Yeah, they've done this in like 3 or 4 colors now. But the important thing with this one is that it comes with
Starscream
part of Starscream. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the other colors don't, to my knowledge. So this card comes with part of the tail fin. So, and Toy World did just show off gray prototypes of the next 2 figures in here. So maybe they'll finish the Build-A-Figure before 2030. But don't
you're gonna sell me that, right?
I don't think I am. Honestly, I'm hoping that they do like a recolor of it later, built in for people that don't want to buy all the other stupid things. But I dig the World War I style vehicles or World War II. I'm not sure which one. I guess it's 2, isn't it? Yeah.
I think that might be 1.
Is it? It's whatever
was it Starscream a biplane?
Yeah, that's what he. Actually, I'm not sure.
World War I.
Yeah, because that's his wing, which was with Bulldog. But just like Bulldog, it's a small figure, but it is super detailed. It's coated in paint. Again, my webcam's not going to pick it up very well, but it's painted all over with just lots of detail and gunmetal. It has a little bit of die cast like in the knees and stuff. The transformation is not very fun. Like it makes a great looking little car, but like getting the panels to start busting open so that you can start transforming it was annoying. And after that, it's most toys are much easier to get to robot anyways, because it's like, okay, these are why all the joints are. You'll just move every joint. I have not put it back into car mode, and I probably won't anytime soon because it doesn't look very appealing to me. The process doesn't. It's a great looking car when it's done, but yeah, it kind of falls the line of just being really detailed figures with the big base. He comes with like extra heads, and extra guns. He's got the big ass hammer, and the base with magnets, which kind of make the price what it is at the end of the day. But it's a cool figure, but it is. I could see people spending $70 on it thinking it was going to be something larger, but I don't know.
I feel like for $70 for a third-party toy, like that's still not a bad price.
Usually, most third-party stuff isn't that small, but I mean, like,
That's
even
true.
Legends are getting to like $50-$60, and those aren't usually painted as near as much of this, and don't have the amount of accessories it has. So it's not out of line when you view third-party as a whole, but it can still kind of be like, oh man, that's smaller than I thought. I knew it was small before I bought it though, so I was okay with it. I knew what I was getting at, but
that's what she said.
I was waiting for it. Yeah. All right, Paul.
Well, I've been holding this guy up on the other shows I've been in, but this is the Ghost Starscream Cyberverse dude from the 4-pack that's come out recently. And he's got that little gun action. That's what's so cool about it. It's just interesting because he doesn't, as far as I know, he does not become a ghost in the show. They just sort of made a crazy deco. And so this is, you can find this at Target, but it's in a 4-pack of 3 other Seekers, Thrust, Skywarp, and Thundercracker. And the Skywarp is the same way. It's like all translucent plastic except for the legs and like the body. And just it's pretty different. Like his wings are all red. It's like it's a pretty drastically different deco than the mainline release.
It feels less Ghost Starscream and more Ghost Redwing.
Kind of, yeah, because really his wings should be the clear plastic down here.
Yeah.
Because he does, in fact, have red wings on that toy.
Yes. Anyways, I was always going to get this, so. So I did, and here it is. I have a feeling that set will be clearanced before it's all said and done, but, you never know. Cyberverse keeps the popularity keeps increasing.
However, it's over now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
done.
but
I wonder what that'll do to it.
I mean, there's new toys coming out. There's more deluxes coming out. They just released that Battle Call line, so I mean, they might just be rolling with it through till the movie comes out in 2022. Because what are they going to do? Launch a whole new kids show? Like right before.
I mean, so to recap, Cyberverse has ended and is getting new waves of toys. The Netflix show came out, and the series the toy line has ended. A few months ago, other than now that some Walmart exclusives.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all over the place.
You gotta look at it as like Siege.
They're different markets.
Siege is over, but the whole thing is all the same toy line.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's the Generations toy
same,
line.
It's Siege to Earthrise to what's
Kingdom.
the third one?
Kingdom.
I mean, in the end, we'll all just start calling it War for Cybertron. After it's all said and done. The only reason you'll say Siege or Earthrise is to designate, like, the toys from that line or this line, but they'll all be considered the same umbrella.
Yeah.
Not to make any confusion with the video games.
And that's so old at this point, it doesn't matter.
I mean, we already got 2 robots in
Still
disguise
me.
because, fuck you. That's why.
And we've got 2 Cyberverse.
I mean, and we had one show literally just called Animated, and another just called Prime. Like, we haven't been really great at coming up with names for shows.
Yeah.
Where do they live? Cybertron. Yeah, Transformers Cybertron. There we go. The kids will love it.
We will get one called Transformers someday.
Oh man.
Yeah.
All right, so Phil, what do you got for us?
So I went hunting the other day, like to a Target. The second time I've been to Target for
Hermit gets
6
out of the
months.
cave.
And you know, of all the stuff that's out there, I got Slitherfang. So
Nice.
You know, it's in terms of, you know, Rob with his discussions of budget, this little guy will not break your budget. But, you know, if you buy like 10 of them, then maybe you could. Right now I was only able to find one, but I definitely want to make a whole road of Slitherfangs and sound barriers and whatnot. So
well, have you seen the Super Fang? You can like make a giant snake out of like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
I've seen it, and I don't know if I would go that crazy, but I do thoroughly enjoy Slitherfang here.
He'll go really well with this guy. They're both clear.
Yeah, I had him earlier on. I had him earlier on Acid Storm as a shield on Acid Storm, so that purple and green really popped.
Me Hulk loves Slitherfang.
Yeah.
Which Acid Storm?
So Rainmaker.
Yeah,
and
he's like what, a $7 toy? Isn't that what that price point is, or something?
$6-7. I got him at Target. You know, there was him and like 8 rungs sitting on the shelf.
I think your first word was probably correct.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. So something Paul had mentioned before about that toy, and is that like you don't see them on Hasbro Pulse? And
no, they don't sell them.
We assume it's because they would have to do free shipping on it, at which point they would make $0 off of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good theory.
Yeah, I mean, have any of the Battle Masters really showed up on Pulse?
No, they don't sell them, and they don't sell the micro. They might sell them.
The old Micromaster 2-packs are there, but like newer waves haven't been.
No,
like, you know, even gone up and sold out. No, they're just not listed at all.
Yeah, they basically left it for Target and specialty stores.
Yeah, like which is
great. I love that.
Newer ones on order with Collecticon toys. So I've got the 2-headed dude. That I can't remember his name.
Double Crosser.
Double Crosser. Yeah. So I've got him on order with Collecticon right now.
So is Slitherfang less shitty than the previous Battlemaster? Because I bought that thing, I hated it, and it broke on me.
The previous one being Sound Barrier?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got 2 sound barriers. Neither of them are broken. I don't know if it's more or less shitty. It's very simple, but it's pretty darn unique in terms of that it's a snake, and I like how it's got it actually does have, if you can see here, little tiny tank treads. Your view. What on earth are you holding up there?
These are third party head robots.
Garbage.
No, these are cool. They are very much like Slitherfang, and it's they are little snakes that transform into tanks, but they also make heads.
Nice.
I mean, they're both from the same design.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same idea. These just came out a long time ago. Yeah. So like I'm looking forward to getting Slitherfang. It's just I don't go toy hunting much anymore, and nowhere online has it. You know,
I mean, Rob, you were destined to hate Sound Barrier. Like I was surprised when you bought it.
I like small toys. You know, I buy goofy shit. Like I bought these because they're cool. You know what I mean? Like something that turns into a ramp. That's a ridiculous concept. But I have a Rock Lords collections worth several hundreds of dollars. Like, you know, like I probably got
you have the Tyrannosaurus like fossil one.
Yeah,
right?
I have Fossil Saurus.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that thing existed until like 6 months ago, and it blew my mind.
It is amazing, and I mean, like I had to stalk Japanese auction sites to get that. So like I'm into goofy dumb stuff. So Sound Barrier I thought could be. He turns into a ramp. How stupid is that? That's kind of up my alley, but I was just thoroughly unimpressed. And then when it didn't peg in well, and then when the hip sheared off, I was like, "Fuck this thing."
See, I've not had any issues with it fitting well with the Ironworks or Mega Supreme, and I've not had any breakage issues on either of mine. So I don't know if you just got like your Casey Jones, you just are destined to get like some bad batches.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah. You're like Ryan at Sabertron, who claims every single toy he gets has bad paint on the face, because all he does is take close-up photos of the face, so it like
so no one else notices it.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, how are you a magnet for this stuff? And it's just that I think it happens to everybody. We just don't care.
Yeah.
I'll be right back, gentlemen.
Oh, well. Good thing he went.
When you gotta go.
Yeah, no, I forgot I had something upstairs.
Yeah, he can still hear us. So
unlike me, when I gotta go grab, a decade-old snakehead robot, I'm just like, be right back.
Yeah, I mean, our viewers aren't used to this experience right here, where someone just runs away and can still talk. We're always tied to the system.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so you're next,
right? A pair of AirPods for my wife. I don't know, like a year and a half ago, and then with quarantine, I'm on the phone for my work all day, so I have put so much mileage on my AirPods, it's ridiculous.
And by the way, Esquire Prime, in case you didn't miss there, like, I'm not talking down to Rock Lords. Again, I have spent hundreds and hundreds of dollars in that collection, but I love them for what they are, and they are goofy and dumb, and that makes them great.
I wish Sucklord would make like a shitlord toy. Like just take a dog poop or something and like make it turn into take a Rock Lord and like reskin it with one of those like, put your keys in dog poop on your lawn sort of thing. That'd be a great custom.
Do a decent amount of customs yourself. You could make that,
Yeah, but I don't do one-offs. I have to make any.
Right. Yeah. So through Paul, I've met Sucklord, and I have to say I was not impressed before the meeting, and I was not impressed after the meeting.
That's par for. I mean, I think that's kind of the intended result.
All right. So speaking of weird, goofy niche stuff that only Rob collects, my next wave of Beast boxes came in.
More of those.
Yeah. So start off, we got the alligator named Arigato, because get it, Arigato. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Cat. Knocking things off. He comes with fish missiles. They peg in, and it's just a little clear fish that he's got a couple pegs on him that you can put on there and angle them around, and they are fish cannons. This guy is kind of... he's not difficult to transform, but it doesn't transform how you're going to think it does. And Phil, like, if you're not familiar with the line, like, all these guys transform into cubes. They're beasts that transforms into a box, like, and they're like $25-$30 each, something like that. But this guy, both his front and end split in half, and then like pieces sink down and fold over it and close up or whatever. It's a pretty unique transformation.
Is it fun?
Once I figured it out, I liked it. But like at first I was a little stumped just because of like, cat. I was just like, well, what is, where does this go? Why isn't this getting to peg in right? And like, you got to kind of turn and organize a few things. But in general, I love the line because I've got at least one of every mold. I don't buy all the repaints they do because they do a lot of repaints.
How many molds are there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like around 11 or 12 right now if you include the alien ones.
Wow.
Like alien as in...
Wow. Yeah, xenomorphs.
Alien, which comes with a face hugger and a egg pod, which has the larva in there. Like, they kind of went all out. They also have like the front loader. And
I think you're converting Phil right now, like before our eyes.
No, I've got enough. We talk about this.
But the other one that came in this, I don't know if I want to call it a wave necessarily. It's just when I shipped my pile of loot, is the spider. The spider is full of wind. Like the last one that was, I think, really, really stand out that like anyone who wanted to just dabble in the line would have been the parrot. This guy, I think, is another. It's like big, chunky movements. Like there's no little fiddling with it, and it has a string that wires up to hang it. And it's real string. It's got a little die-cast hook on it or something. And he's very simple to transform. I mean, pretty much you fold his abdomen down. There's a few things that peg in here just for stability. You just fold the abdomen down, roll the legs up, and boom, he's a cube. And again, not like any of them are like, oh, these are so complex, but there's obviously some that are simpler than other ones. And
where do you acquire these guys from?
I mean, Big Bad, eBay.
And they're like, what, $25, $30 price point?
And like, all of them are in all kinds of different colors. There's, if you really like the cutesy stuff, I'm not going to go through the whole line by any means because they've already talked about them on the show, but like, there's a set of 4 penguins that form a cube together, and they have little rotating eyes and expressions, and there's a panda bear that was recently out that has a little baby panda bear in it, and just, oh wait, no, I forgot that you have these 3 over here, so yeah, I got like 15 molds. And there's a few more coming out that I still need to order off Big Bad, so it's, like, the line's been going for a few years now. They're great desk bots, and so while I'm like the only cast member left that likes interesting transformations, like everybody else, if they can't transform in about 30 seconds, I swear they're like, oh, I hate this toy, it's over-engineered garbage. These, as literally a desk bot type of toy, you want something that's quick to fiddle with. Like that's the point of it. And that's where I think stuff like the Spider and the Parrot, where it's big chunky movements, really stand out as really being good fits for the lines. Yeah. Yay base box. If you want to pick out a couple, I can tell you a couple to get, and you just
It sounds like the Spider is one
definitely.
That
the Spider is one fun, and all of his little bits are his legs are articulated, his front fangs are articulated too. They lift up and down, and he's cool. I scared my daughter with it.
And I think the brilliance of that is that you could just put it into the little cube and have it on your desk, and no one would have like any idea that that's a little transforming
and all of them also come
Spider.
with little boxes that they go into for storage, and the boxes also stack, like literally snap together, both top and bottom ways. So like, they're easy to store. You don't have to like just lay them all down on a shelf and hidden in your closet or anything. You can keep them nice easily.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, Paul.
You're thinking about it, Phil. I can tell.
I might pick up that Spider one. It's pretty neat.
It's dope.
Yeah.
Entry level drug. I got a new Masterpiece toy, and I got MP49.
Oh, wow. Other end of the spectrum.
Black Convoy toy, which I was pretty stoked on. This is the first redeco of MP44. A little less than a year since the last one came out. I want to say the last one came out in September. Is that right?
I'd have.
So I know we did Outside My Wallet on it.
We did a TFYLP about it, didn't we? Like, or was it announced? I know we did a whole show on it. We didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was ouch. But it was kind of, so I have, since the initial transformation of MP44, I have not transformed it since, and it's still a Starscream toy on my shelf. So it was kind of fun to revisit the mold because it comes in truck mode again, and there are some upgrades here from the original one, and it's mostly like they fixed something in the knees. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like a huge. I didn't have a problem with my original one, but I know a lot of people did. And the funny thing,
go ahead. My knees were fine too, but you had to make sure when you were transforming that one part was moving before the next part did. And some people, like if you just articulate the knee, they could move out of order, and boom, you broke your toy. So if you are a little more careful, it was avoidable. But yeah.
I mean, that's not great for such an expensive toy, but like, follow the fucking instructions, all right, guys?
I didn't follow the instructions, and I still didn't break it. So just saying, it can be done.
Great.
You're just that good.
I'm
Rob.
really not.
You're just that
Anybody
good.
that was at TFCon last year and saw me with Jabber for like 4 hours knows that I'm not. Yeah.
Let's not bring up TFCon. That's pain. That's painful right now.
Hey, don't worry. We'll all be there again in like a year and a few months, hopefully.
Maybe.
Oh,
yeah.
But this is the first time I attached the axe because he came with like a limited amount of. I have all the accessories on here except for the original head, And I found out you can even stick it because you have to remove the fist to put this on, and you can actually like store it inside of here. It doesn't say you can, but you can. You can just store the fist in his arm. And they did make some changes, like
you broke it.
No, I didn't.
It's ruined.
So this backpack used to have a sound thing in it, and I guess one of the major changes is that is gone. So there's no button here anymore. So there's definitely some remolding. You know, they changed a piece or two on the back of the knee, so it's a little less breakable. But a lot of people were talking about paint chipping on the MP44. This one really doesn't have much paint. Just these silver, these like gunmetal gray parts. Like this is all plastic.
Like
this
even
is
the
not,
teal?
Painted yellow. Yeah, the teal is. Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell. I think maybe the part on the skirt here, this
bottom half,
particular piece, that might be painted. But I think the rest of it is separate pieces of plastic. But don't quote me on it, because I don't know.
I had two complaints about MP44, and I'm wondering if that one has it. One was his gray ab panels. Like my paint hasn't chipped yet, but the paint has already it bubbled up when I had it, or like when I got it rather. So it's like, if I touch that with my finger, that paint's going to peel off on my finger. You know what I mean?
Wow.
I assume yours, like, if it's not painted at all, it obviously can't.
I think it's always so hard for me to tell if something's painted or not, but I think that part's painted because the top of it is black. So it looks like it's probably black painted gunmetal. But it's a different color paint, so it's probably a different consistency than that white.
I remember I watched a couple of reviewers, and they had paint chips on that same gray bit, so I'm hoping, as we, most MP collectors know, Takara switched factories around the time when they, didn't see G1 Masterpiece for like a year and a half. No new molds, and then they came back with MP44 because they were completely switching factories, and went back to how they were kind of redid how they were engineering things. And I don't know if switching factory on MP44 was the best time. And the other issue I had is my legs are a little janky on mine. Like, he has no problem standing, like, or whatever, but if you pick it up, the top of the leg joints, like in the hips and stuff, isn't solid. Like they kind of wobble a little bit.
This.
Is it still?
I was just about to bring that up because I remember, there was a lot of hoopla around MP44, and people are like, "This is how you fix the knees," and like, I saw one video of a guy telling how to fix the hips to make them more like solid, because they kind of have some give to them, and the upper weight of the toy like spreads the legs, and they kind of. And then it's sort of stable, but as soon as you lift it up, the weight's off and the legs dangle. So there is a way, and it doesn't seem too obtrusive. You got to take some stuff apart. I don't think you have to do any pins, but you like go in there and you like fill a gap, and it suddenly is way more sturdy.
A gap.
Yeah.
So, but is this one still the same?
I would consider doing that. Okay. Yeah, this one's the same as far as that area goes.
They must not have thought it was that big of an issue then. But it still stands. It's just notable.
I think they did it by design. Like, basically what you do is you can take like a small piece of paper or something thin, or like even a piece of like a little sliver of plastic, and you just wedge it into this spot, and it like makes it a little more secure. And then you put it all back together, and it doesn't spread, I guess is the real problem. It spreads. But I think they designed it that way on purpose, or they wouldn't have changed it, or they would have tried to change it or something. Anyways, I love a black Optimus Prime. This is Black Convoy, not Nemesis Prime. I love the nuance of that, because it pisses people off when you can discuss it.
How weird would it be?
So I love me a Black Convoy.
If it still had the voice box and it was Peter Cullen's voice coming out of Black Convoy.
It would be weird. It would be weird. I mean, he's not there is no G1 Black Optimus Prime, so it's kind of it's a release you can expect, but it doesn't really make sense canonically or anything. It's just sort of, this is how they were going to repaint MP44 without the trailer. And it was still pretty expensive. It was still like $210, something like that.
I think it's $250 if you buy it in the US.
Yeah, I want to say it's $250.
Well, this was Amazon Japan, of course, but
sounds about right.
I love it.
How do you feel about it not coming with the trailer? Are you down with it?
Oh, I don't care. I mean, I'm glad because it's cheaper. It's cheaper. They made it a little. It's got a lot less paint on it. They removed the voice box. So I mean, like, I think it's pretty clear that the trailer was, to me, a really nice surprise. I was like, wow, a trailer that's actually pretty awesome.
You don't need to.
But I mean, no one was like, oh man, I wish I had this trailer. This is the trailer I always wish I had. They're just like, wow, this is cool, but I could have done without it.
I remember when we did our show on MP44, like, we spent like 30 minutes talking about the trailer and like the repair drone. The repair drone alone had a ton of engineering. To me, I was blown away by it. To me, that's what Masterpiece is about, is that excess and going all out on that. So that, I thought it was awesome. But if I was inclined to buy repaints of it, I don't feel I would want I'd be okay with not getting the trailer again. It was.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the trailer always becomes a nuisance in a way after a while.
I mean, how many of your MP10s and do you have displayed with the trailers?
All of them.
I mean, I usually, I don't know.
I only have one left, but
like my Ava Prime is like standing on top of the trailer because I'm not going to separate those things.
Yeah, I mean, I have the MP44 trailer actually up in repair mode, like in the corner, kind of catty cornered, like the way it opens up with the little minifigures standing on the repair shelves and stuff. Like it's kind of part of the display.
Yeah.
So I put it to work for me. Yeah.
All right. Maybe I'm just.
No, I think most people are like, why did they do this trailer that I had to pay for, and they throw it like on a shelf in the closet. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Phil, you're definitely an asshole, but not because of the trailer.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. I think that's pretty self-evident.
So, what'd you get next, Phil?
So, my son was having fun with this as well as some of the other ones. So, Slitherfang is making a reappearance, but we got Grease Pit and Ironworks and Sound Barrier here. So,
whoa!
My son put this together and made his own little Transformer city here, and he doesn't know I got Skylinks coming very soon, and got that on an order from Collecticon Toys. Just got an email from Collecticon that it's in, so I'll be getting that any day now. And he doesn't know that Skylinks combines with this as well, so this will be one more thing to add. He knows Scorponok combines, but
is he gonna flip out?
Scorponok, I'll admit, I'm waiting for a Black Friday sale. And but yeah, no, this
Don't be snoozing.
We're having fun with the Transformer City stuff. He's been asking a lot for us to build a big Transformer City. We've done that the last couple of years during the winter. The living room just becomes a big giant Transformer City with the Titan guys, and this year obviously is going to add to that. So yeah, here's Grease Pit. I mean, he's got part of a leg here, part of a leg here. I don't know which back piece goes to Ironworks or goes to Slitherfang. I'm sorry, goes to Grease Pit. Here's my two sound barriers built in there, but it's fun. It's a fun toy. It's a nice repaint. It's surprising. I don't think I found a Decepticon logo on him at all. So
on Grease Pit?
Yeah, I don't think I didn't see a Decepticon logo anywhere on Grease Pit. So it's like, all right, but no, it's surprising for a remold of Ironworks, especially in the base mode, how different it sort of looks. And no, I wished I had like more of the city, kind of Micromaster dudes back in the day. So this is definitely scratching an itch, because there was a time about a year or so ago where I was tempted to just start like, man, let's just start going on eBay and buying up some old G1 Micromasters to make a big giant Transformer City. So
yeah, there's all my Micromasters.
Yeah, I mean, they're sitting out there.
I didn't make a city.
You don't have Skyhopper making a city.
I have Skyhopper, but he's not making a city. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying there.
I mean, if it was the 80s and we were all young children like we used to be, like we would have made that same contraption.
Definitely.
Like that was awesome to see, because I haven't actually.
Kids play with these.
I've seen some people post some weird photos.
No.
Yeah. That totally looked like a kid creation.
Very much.
Yeah. No, my son is 5. He's going to be 6 in a couple weeks, and this is the city stuff is so much fun, and it's like it kind of like pains me to see Metroplex go up in price, because then it's like when he's like, let's put Metroplex in this city too. I'm like, oh, I guess
I sold my Metroplex last year for like $300 something to somebody overseas on eBay. Like that thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's so expensive. Because it got repainted a couple times. Like there were multiple releases of it, as opposed to Fort Max, who ended up going on clearance and sells for less than it retailed for. At least it did last time I looked.
Yeah.
It was like $80-$90 or something.
I've got if you want a Black Screws Takara Triptychon, I can sell you one of those.
Boom.
Oh, that's
that just
the first
right
casualty of brand unity.
Yeah, and a very expensive casualty at
that. I was right there,
and
I know. I was on the front lines with you.
You and I got ours from the same order.
We
and
sure
now it looks
did.
like brand unity might be cracking a little bit,
sliding away.
Yeah, I've seen a few things that had a little different decos, but then they showed some stuff that was exactly the same again. Like they got the Quintessence pack, right? Which was like I think all the same colors, wasn't it? We saw that. The Takara release of the 5-pack, the movie 5-pack.
Right, but the crocodile bot, he's very pink in Takara. Yeah.
Oh, but it's not going to be pink. It's not going to be pink, but it is going to be different.
Yeah. But like significantly different, not just like Black Screws different. It's going to be.
I think the paint apps are a different color is really all it truly is. We won't know, but it comes out this month in America and Japan. So the truth will come out.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting if we get back to Takara having more paint, more attention to detail, or I don't know. Like the Hasbro stuff is so usually slavish to G1, but then again they're like, let's put space dirt on everything, which I get the feeling Takara would not have done the past few years. But I was sad about brand unity, even though I never bought the Takara stuff. I think it's better for the collectors for it to end. But I guess we'll see.
It was always a pain in the butt when you'd have the Takara version come out 3 months later after you had the Hasbro version. You're like, crap, that looks a lot better.
Or like they did the Target Masters with the right Target Masters and things like that.
Yeah. And they made up with Double Cross coming with Blur's Target Master because the Blur didn't ever come with the right Target Master. And yeah, it was definitely some double purchases there that it was like, oof, that stings.
Oof.
All
right, so this will be my
Chi-Town chat.
This will be my last round, and so last show I was like, in an uncharacteristic Rob move, everything was Hasbro, everything was official. This week we're back to the normal where nothing is Hasbro. So my last gun is a twofer. A lot of people have been getting these in lately. It's the next two Junkions from KFC. If you are familiar with KFC, like one of their first real good releases was Retgar and Scrap Heap, whatever, I forget what name they called him, like Dump Yard or something. And so these are the next two that are coming out. And these are based off of stuff in the animation. They're not named ever in the movie, but they have names. Like one of them is Recycle, and I can't remember what the other one is. And there's two more coming soon. But I don't have Retgar up here, but these two are repaints. So these are mostly the same mold, except they get different shoulder bits. And the shoulder bits pop off, just like they did on Retgar and Scrap Heap. His big, dumb gun is straight off the character model. I don't think he ever uses it in the show, but that's where it's from. But, these pop off, and then they got their heads. So that's one of the ways they get the differences between all the releases is the shoulder pieces come off and are in different arrangements, which matches how they did it in the animation. They have a few different chest designs, a few different shoulder designs, and they mix and match them to give you an array of Junkions. And so, KFC's just copying that to toy form. So it's very much based off the animation. The main difference is that the Junkions are kind of squatter and fatter in the animation on the character models. When translated to toy form, it didn't work out that way. And the legs are different too. So this new pair has, this part with the spiky bit, and that kind of folds around for that. Whereas Retgar has the ribbed look for your pleasure, going down his shins. But they got new heads.
How sharp are those knee spikes?
These are a soft plastic, so they're not too bad. But on the wheel, they're sharp. I can touch them. It's not like I'm not going to bleed. If you have is it MMC's did their retro Seeker set, like the World War One era planes, like they did all the Seekers. Those things will cut you up. Like they're awesome toys, but they will slice and dice you, man.
I got one of those.
I forget who did the IDW tailgate, but the IDW tailgate has like little shoulders that are just like
those
daggers.
make toys, and
make toys. Came with the Cyclonus,
the kit.
You know, to make the Chug Cyclonus, the add-on kit. That was a fun set, but tailgate is deadly.
Anyone else that picked up like the original KFC Junkions set, like this is just as nice as those were. Again, it was the first time it was really good. They've reworked the hands. KFC used to be notorious for having really spindly fingers with ultra articulated hands, and since Keith, who does both KFC and XTB X-Transbots, has simplified them, and so this has the simple where it's got like the pointer finger, then the other three are on a joint. The thumb I'm worried is going to break though. It's got a really tiny joint. Thumb's kind of crap, but it's fine. And they got new heads, and it's again, one day we're going to have to get like high def cameras or something, Paul. I swear to God. But like the head sculpts are just great. Like especially love his. It's all squat and fat looking. Again, it's all based off the animation.
So can you mix and match parts from those toys? Is that what you were saying?
So like the shoulder caps pop off. So it's I popped it off. And that's in my hand.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, that's
the
kind of how the Junkion should go.
So like
But it'd be cool if they could totally de-limb, and you could really mess with them. But I mean, that seems like it would ruin the integrity.
I mean,
of
there's
the toy.
a screw in the back, but I wouldn't recommend it because I can see a spring done in there somewhere. The hands are different, the shins are different, the chest is completely different from the previous two releases. But on these two, it's the same. It's the new chest for both of them, but again, matches the animation. And then the last two have different chests, because like the guy with the half a wheel coming out of his chest is one of them, and then the other one is the one that has pipes going down his rib cage, which is what Scrap Heap is the way he is. So it's a reuse of that chest.
Are they going to do
the wheel on the chest? I think is my favorite one.
Are they going to do the IDW chick one, the Ramage?
I mean, there's a female Junkion.
The female.
Is she in the movie or just the show? She's in G1.
I think it might be the show, but I could be wrong. But I know in IDW there was they made a new character and she was kind of important.
Yeah.
And I just was like, oh, that'd be cool to. I didn't read that comic, but I liked the concept and I liked her design, and I was like, oh, I hope she becomes she's way more interesting to me than Windblade. Please make this something we continue.
Yeah. No, she was an important character for a story arc or two in the IDW Optimus Prime book.
Yeah, she has not been announced, so what?
So that would probably be a new mold.
If they were going to do it, I wouldn't hold my breath, because these were announced back when the Junkions were first announced, and they've just been on a hiatus. These are Cassie Stark design, who's somebody we know, but he's designed so many toys. He did Unrustable Bastards. He's done every KFC toy. He's done a lot of the MMC stuff back in the day. He's out of it now. He doesn't design Transformers anymore, to my knowledge. But he did this design, and again, it was just a really solid design. It's one that put KFC kind of on the map, and was like, oh hey, this is the first toy they did that everybody's like, this is a really cool toy. It looks good to the animation, and that was even before Takara was hyper animation accurate, And at first I wasn't going to buy them because they're stateside, they're 120 each, which again is in line with modern day third party, big, chunky, heavy, these got weight, they got die-cast feet and some other die-casts in the right spots, and then they're well made and all, but I wasn't going to buy them, but then ultimately I decided to, because they are in the animation, and I think it's kind of one of those things third-party G1 and just kind of G1 in general needs to kind of keep living, is beyond that, that 84 cast, or, in the Prime movie cast, give me the weird oddball characters, because even if Takara does Wreck-Gar one day, I don't think they're going to be doing Recycle and whatever the other guy's name is that I can't think of at the moment,
Well, I mean, they never even had names.
Yeah, I mean, they have names, but it's like, I guess it's from the script leaks or something.
Yeah, because they were in like the Marvel comic. There was like I think there was like 3 of them in the Marvel comic. That I don't know if they were called like Junkion 1, Junkion 2, or they were actually given names in the Marvel source book comic.
Yeah, I'm not sure where these came from. The names of, is it Junkyard? Is that the other guy? No, Junkyard's already been out. Yeah, they have names. I don't know where people got the names from. They come from character designer notes revealed in Transformers: The Complete Arc. That's where all the names for the Junkions came from.
I have that book. I could pull it out, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Because I'm ready to go next.
Yeah, the Marvel source book just says Junkion 1, Junkion 2, and Wreck-Gar.
My favorite is Junkion 3. That's where they just really let their colors fly.
Yeah.
That was the
I
best
gotta look up what the woman's name is. I saw it just the other day. She has like Nancy. It's Nancy.
But
yeah, I knew it had a really plain name. Her name is Nancy.
That's got to be like the designer's like daughter.
Yeah, it's Nancy.
It's like the Takara name for is it either Gears or Hound, or it's just Willie?
Yeah,
but it makes sense because of the Jeep. But I never knew that. Like when I was like in my 20s or whatever, I was like, Willie.
Was it Willie or Willis?
Willis was a third party. It was Fans Toys Hound. Was Willis? Yeah. Okay. So this is Scrap Heap. Okay. This is Recycle, and Junkyard's the one they already got out that has like the pipes. One of the ones that has pipes for ribs. There's a different one called Grease Stain that has pipes for ribs. And I think there's even a third one I think that has pipes for ribs. That's not on my little image.
They got to come out with shit piece too.
Real piece of shit.
See, because I don't know if they would ever do a rummage with that one, Paul, because number one, she wasn't in the movie. Number two, she's based on Kaizama, how do you say her name? Kaizama, the artist for Optimus Prime.
Number 3, I don't give a
fuck. Her designs were much more spindly. I mean, that Junkion design looks more akin to what was the name? Oil Slick from the animated line than it does from anything from Transformers the movie.
Yeah, Nancy's quite different looking. She has like an Arbulus head or something too. She's got this like yeah.
I gotta hit the old Google machine on this.
Can I go now?
We'll just interrupt you to talk more about Nancy, the world's favorite character.
Oh my god, yeah, she does.
So I don't usually jump into the world of third-party garbage, but I did. And I got this head.
I think that has a big accessory it comes with.
Your bargaining posture is highly dubious. Yeah, it comes with this big accessory that comes with it. Turns into a ball.
I think it turns into a cell, actually.
Can you bounce it?
It turns into a cancer cell. So, yeah, this thing, I did it. I got it. I got the thing. I don't usually participate in this sort of stuff. But I kind of couldn't resist this. I mean, I've always wanted a Unicron that didn't suck. And, since I was a kid. And, you go on the wiki and you see these things of, like, rumors or, like, falsities that, like, have perpetuated from the past. And one was, like, someone in your neighborhood... Some kid in your neighborhood said their dad worked for Hasbro and had the Unicron toy. Like that, that happened in my circle of friends. It just must have been ubiquitous.
No, I had a buddy in high school that claimed he had a Unicron toy as well. I was like, you're lying.
Like, where does that? How does someone come up with?
I mean, there's probably
Mike Garcia from Lincoln Way High School, graduating class in 1999.
I'm gonna dox that asshole.
Lied to me in
dox
chemistry class. And said he had a Unicron toy.
Is this what you had, Garcia? I don't think so.
Yeah.
It was
no.
Even if you had the real one, it was a piece of shit. And this is actually better than that. So, here's the back legs. Kind of looks interesting. It's one of the more interesting things about it.
Hasbro's upcoming release.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of endearing, like that the back of the planet kind of shows there that they didn't try to like hide it. I have not transformed this thing. I will not. I'm not even gonna bother. I don't care about the planet. Like I got it because this literally looks like the dude. I mean, that's all I've ever wanted since the day I saw this in the movie in the theater. You know, I was like, that is the coolest transforming thing I've ever seen, and it's, you know, the Armada toy. We all convinced ourselves that was good enough, and
I never thought it was good enough, but it was amazing for the time. You know, I still loved it at the time.
I think I hunted for that thing for 4 months because I just didn't at that point we didn't know when things actually came out. You know, like it was just like they put a picture of it online and you're like, that was it. So you have no idea when it's coming out.
And engineering has come so far.
Yeah, I mean I wouldn't say it's like, if you can hear it in my voice, I'm not like jumping out of my shorts for this thing. It's pretty cool. I like it. I mean, I like non-transforming toys. Yeah. I like non-transforming toys, so to me it's just a giant action figure, and it hits all the notes that I kind of want. It has some third-party, you know, aesthetic that I don't love, and it's kind of hard to articulate, so I'm not going to like dig into that a ton. I guess ultimately I like it from like the mid-section up. The legs area and the feet and the way it stands is a little annoying, but it all works. It's all a good toy. Like if you're on the fence with this thing, you should just try to get it. Although you're gonna pay some snoozing tax because this thing is not cheap and it's huge to it's so big.
When it was originally listed, it was $250, and by the
oh my god, that's a steal! Like
by the time it finally came out, it was up to $400 because, you know, they got hit with the Hasbro cease and desist, and so they went a little underground. But Show Z still had the pre-orders out there for $250. But then, like, COVID started hitting, prices across the board on literally everything has gone up, and its price kept going. Especially when we used to get free shipping from China, and all of a sudden now you're paying out the nose for shipping from China. And as you said, that thing is monstrous.
Like you should,
like you would expect.
Well, I mean,
but does that toy not just have the weirdest, most not associated with the actual item inside box that you've ever seen?
Yeah, I love the box. I really love it. It took me a long time to track down like a good photo of the box because like no one was posting it. It was weird, but it's really funny. Like I think it's great.
And it goes to show you too, like how little these things are sold on a store shelf. Like, you know, even in other countries, you know, it's all just online ordering from people that know what it already is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like it's people that know exactly what it is. They've been following it. No one's going to like impulse buy this unless they go to your house and you are selling it and you have one on your shelf to be like, look at this. You know, that's cool. I love the head. The head is like really good. I actually really love the teeth inside too. I think the details are really delicate. And, so that they knocked that out of the park. I know it has a battery stuff, but I never mess with like those little batteries in my toys because I know I'll forget they're in there and they'll rust and whatever. I'm not going to sit here and review the thing, but there's things I like about it. There's things I don't. And like I said, if you're on the fence, I'd try to get it. Except you got to be willing. You're basically going to pay HasLab Unicron price for this thing.
The second
if
run's
you want
coming
it,
out.
like in the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if you want it now, like that's
but even then, it's still $400. Yeah. It's not cheap by anyone's stretch of the map. I think HasLabs is going to be a better planet mode, and I think that one is by far the better robot mode. Like we can already just see that.
And my, I think a lot of people have said this, like, I'm gonna get the cell to put in robot mode and use the one for planet. But like, I just love. I've seen the toy, the HasLab toy, like at the shows and stuff, and even though the flapjacks are there and it is a little squat and it's, it doesn't do everything you want. Like the planet mode is like absolutely breathtaking. It is significantly awesome, and the stand it comes with is significant as well. So I'm probably gonna put mine in planet mode, and I have this if I decide to keep it, which I usually keep everything, but this is third party weirdness, so I might not.
Do we know what mode HasLabs is being packaged in?
Most likely the planet. or some like mid transformation mode because it's in a square box. It's in a cube. That's all we know. But they sent them. They did show a photo of like a mock-up of the box. It was pretty lackluster. It was like a Generation Selects box.
Brown cardboard with print
cardboard
on it.
with
black print on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it has these like big handles on it, like a moving box. So they know what they're doing.
All right, Phil.
All right, so my last thing as well. Talked about Crush Collectibles earlier. Got this from Crush Collectibles the other week, and this is like I don't know what year or two old. I'd always kind of wanted it, and actually got the partner toy of this a couple months ago from GameStop on clearance. This is Tamashii Nation's Toy Story Combiner robot. So this is a robot, and this is my first time opening this, so I hope this thing is all in here. Basically, what this is 5 of the characters from Toy Story that are there. You have toys, articulated toys of the Toy Story characters that you then can transform to make a giant Toy Story mech. And here we go. So we've got Woody, we've got Rex, Ham, Slinky Dog, and I can't remember the horse's name right now. But these guys all, can move around and are pretty well articulated.
Bullseye.
I'll take out Woody.
Is that officially licensed?
It is.
What's
it's
that?
Official product.
Yeah,
it's Tamashii Nations. It has to be, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So they had even done a Disney character mech one where it's like Mickey, Donald, Goofy, Daisy.
It's much simpler than this one.
And Minnie. Yes, that one is much more simpler. That one's more robotic. But these are, just for a Woody toy, this is not bad at all. Although the eyes do just sort of like haunt you. That is a little bit terrifying. So you can take all 5 of these guys and mess around with them as individual toys, or you can combine them into the big robot that you see right here.
That's not all.
But then there was a companion toy that came out pretty soon afterwards, and this one I've had for a couple months now. And it's a Buzz Lightyear mech with the aliens and Buzz Lightyear's spaceship. And then you can disassemble this and disassemble the Woody mech and make one big giant mech. I got this guy from GameStop for about $60, which is an awesome.
I paid full price
deal.
for both of those sets, and I was happy.
Yeah. I got Woody for probably what was full price. What did you pay, Rob?
They're over on the shelf. I've had them for too long. I know I bought them both brand new full price because I was.
We usually talk prices. That's kind of part of the ouch my wallet.
Yeah, this was a 140. So 140 I think was pretty close to the original asking price. Maybe it was 150 or 200, or maybe it was 100. Maybe, I don't know. I've had a giant margarita tonight, so my memory is not as sharp as I'd like.
Your memory?
My memory is not, nor my tongue is as sharp as I'd like it to be at this stage in the evening. But no, I'm very excited for this. I had picked up the Buzz Lightyear one, maybe mid-May, and so at that point in time, it was this. My son loved it, and so I was like, if you want to tell your mother what to get me for Father's Day, you can track down the Toy Story Woody one, and he was like, I'm going to tell Mom. I'm going to go tell Mom that that's what you want for Father's Day. I'm like, all right, kid. And so Father's Day comes along, and when I did not get this, I'm like, I hope she went out and got it, but alas, no. Now I have it, and now I'm happy, and I'll talk to my wife again. At this point, it's been I think 3 or 4 months, and we've been quarantined together for this time, so it's been very awkward that I've been ignoring her comments for 3 months. But I will speak to her again. But I'm very excited to have this toy.
Now I've got both of those sets, and it's
cool.
I actually have right now. I have them all in just their character modes. I feel like they're more interesting apart. And it's just the fact that they combine and then that they ultra combine. It's just the ridiculousness of it all. As I've mentioned, I like ridiculous things. And it's just completely stupid.
Yes.
Why would you do this? I don't know, but it's awesome that it does. but they're nice, like little high quality made little Toy Story robots, which is just it's fun.
I mean, like here's the ultra combiner mode right there, where Rex is one of the hands. So you have a Tyrannosaurus Rex cartoon head is one hand, and the other hand is like the big giant rocket from Toy Story. Becomes the other hand, and Slinky Dog is sort of on there, and then like it's the kind of cool part is like the little binoculars guy who's not even part of the original transformation, is suddenly flips out and is there as like a sight, laser gun. I don't know what he's supposed to be there on the arm of the ultra mega combiner thing. So this is so just random and bizarre, and yet high quality and cool all at the same time.
So do you think they just like poached an old Takara designer to make that for them, or did they find a third, like someone who made that had to be at least have made a Transformer before? You know what I mean? Like they had to have at least designed it if it's that high quality, because it does look nice.
The combination doesn't transform like you would transform a Transformer.
So is it maybe a Bandai guy then that does like Rangers?
Yeah, this is much more Bandai feel. I mean, it's Tamashii Nation, so they're they've been making big giant robot toys for for a long time. I mean, they're making more of the
but like
Voltron
that's
type of stuff.
That problem to solve, like take this licensed character that is definitely not a robot and make them all combined. Like that is an immensely difficult
they didn't
problem to solve.
But they didn't jump into this. We had the Disney Transformers, like we got Mickey, Donald Duck, and Buzz Lightyear a gajillion years ago. And so like, you kind of start with that. And then as Phil mentioned earlier, they did the more standard Disney character combiners, which is much simpler. They're a lot less complex. And it's like, they're learning until they get to this, where all of a sudden now they did two combiners and then an ultra combiner. It's like, I think they've been cutting their chops on things, and leading up to this ridiculous.
The Buzz Lightyear one, I will say, cheats a decent amount, because the Buzz Lightyear one, it's basically like I could take Buzz out of this and it would still be a robot. It's more like a mech suit for Buzz Lightyear to walk around in. And the spaceship that, Buzz Lightyear's spaceship does a lot of the heavy lifting in the transformation, and that it's when you put it in spaceship mode, like especially when you get to play around, they're like, you can see a lot of the quote unquote kibble that you have with it. And so it does a lot of the heavy lifting in the robot in terms of making, the torso, the head, the legs. But I will say the aliens, I was surprised at how well the aliens unfolded to transform to make the arms, because they're really good looking in the alien little individual figures. Yeah, no, they're adorable. And the sheer fact that they even made them, it's hard to see right now. I can kind of turn the back. You can see they even did different faces for each of the two alien heads. So, I was a little disappointed when I first opened up this guy that I thought he'd be taller, because the box is significantly larger if you compare the height of the toy compared to the height of the box. The Buzz Lightyear version. Yeah, it's
I said it's like a bag of chips.
Like a bag of chips.
Yeah. So, but no, I'm happy to own both of them, and that Buzz Lightyear toy is very, very heavy, and Woody feels like he's going to be also pretty darn solid.
You should note too, like talking about the transformations on, like they're not super complex either, but they're weird. They don't work the way other combiner robots normally would. Like it's a very unique one-off type of thing. But like Ham and Rex, for when they make legs, it's really just kind of fold the head out to be a foot. You know what I mean? And make some stuff so something can peg in for the leg. Done. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a complex amount of engineering. There's definitely engineering there, because again, they also make the super mode. But it's it's unique, and if you mess with it, you're like, okay, you could see how it'd be there. It's not like they didn't perform rocket surgery for the set.
Yeah. But no, it's fun to have. I'm not a giant Toy Story fan, but I'm a big enough fan to be like, this is, I'm a fairly mild Toy Story fan, but a big transforming robot fan. So this scratches some itches.
I have a few Sola Chogokin toys, and I don't know anything about Dan Kuga or Gumbuster, but I like or God Mars, but I like cool toys, so I bought them. You know.
Yeah.
And that's the same reason I bought.
God, I'm trying to remember who I was talking about that. Was it? I think it was me and Paul Capella the other day, where we were having a conversation of like the early 2000s where
Acapella? Who's that?
There were Krapelka.
Krapelka.
Yeah.
Crapalophagus.
The early 2000s where it was far more common for me to buy a toy that I had no idea what the property was, but it was just a cool looking toy. There was like the anime series like Trigun that had this character Mona of the Gale that was just an amazing toy. I still have no idea. I think I watched that anime. I don't remember that character in the anime, but the toy I remember was just insanely large and amazing and very shiny.
Do you remember in the 90s when like Gundam finally kind of crossed over to America and like toys were out there? I remember I grabbed not a model kit, but they were selling this. I bought a Death Scythe dude because I thought he looked so cool because he had like the cape and he had the sickle. But that's the only gun. I don't even know what that thing was. It's the only Gundam I ever purchased.
You had Death Scythe and Death Scythe Hell, and then Death Scythe Hell Custom.
He was like this big, I don't know. It was, the size of like a basic.
One scythe blade or two?
One.
Okay.
His cape was the coolest part because it I think it wrapped around him and then like spread into like a wing sort of thing. It was just
I think
it was neat.
Death Scythe Hell Custom from like Gundam Wing Endless Waltz.
Yeah, it was definitely before that.
It's become one of those things too where, as adult collectors, we've been collecting for a while now, so we've accumulated a lot of bullshit. Combined with there's so much product now out per brand. Like if we're getting more Transformers than we ever have before, we're getting more Ninja Turtles than we ever have before, we're getting more Marvel Legends than we ever had before.
Yeah.
To where you can see other stuff, you're like, oh, that's cool, but you're like, I no longer have room. I can't just buy stuff I think is cool anymore because I'm actively collecting 4 other things. I'm already full. It's a...
Yeah. So one of my hobbies when shelter at home quarantine first started was getting back into Gundam kits. And so I bought several Gundam kits from my comic book shop, from a hobby shop. And it was like, here's the downside with buying Gundam kits. They're really fun and cool. It takes you a while to put them together. So you buy them like you buy a Transformer and think like, hey, here's something cool I'm going to put on my shelf. Like, no. 2 years later, after I finally find the time to actually put it together, then it'll look cool on my shelf. For now, it's just a box sitting there collecting dust.
That sounds like flame toys for me. I have like 4 or 5 that I still haven't built.
Yeah, I built the Flame Toys Bumblebee while watching Tiger King at the start of quarantine.
Oh.
I've had the Devastator. I unwrapped it from cellophane. It's been sitting up in my living room for a month and a half. And I was going to like do a live stream of it for TFYLP.
Not going to happen.
Nope. Still hasn't happened. And then I got Megatron after that, and I got the new Optimus. It's like I'm never gonna do it.
Have they announced any new model kit molds? I feel like they've just gone
the Beast Wars ones.
Okay, maybe I didn't pick up on those. All right.
There's a few.
We've been running a while here. Anybody got any parting thoughts? If not, we'll wrap it up here.
Yeah, Lucas, I'll get right on that.
Well, Lucas is pro more content. All right.
Wants me to do work.
Well, thank our people that joined us in live chat today. Zaldron and Sportimus, Esquire. I'm sure some other people that I've probably missed. No thanks to Lucas, whoever that guy is. He's very rude. He just pops in and is rude. I swear.
All the viewers were here because of Phil's massive beard, which is less massive.
Is trimmed down.
Oh, I know.
I literally got this professionally trimmed down on Friday. The guy had to take a weed whacker to what I had.
I got this trimmed down the other day.
Yeah,
I did it myself in the shower.
Yeah, I noticed you trimmed up. That's good. I need to.
Yeah, like I said, I went back to my office for the first time on Monday since March, and so I was like, let me clean up a little bit.
I mean, I thought you were like doing the long game to do some Santa Claus stuff this December to make some extra money. You were getting there.
No, it was kind of funny. Like there was like maybe a month or 2 ago, I was saying I felt like trimming it down, and my wife was like, "No, let it go. When are you gonna have a chance to just let it go like that?" I'm like, "All right, if you're cool with it, you're the one who's got to look at it more than anyone else."
She wants the extra tinkles.
Yeah, I've got a almost 6-month-old infant at home now as well. That dude was like grabbing this thing and was like doing jungle gym, hanging from my beard like it was a set of monkey bars. That hurt tremendously.
Little bastard. All right, but thanks, Phil, for popping on the show. It was awesome to have somebody new on. Hope you enjoyed coming on and chatting about toys with us and shooting the shit. But yeah, so if you like our show and like we do, hit us up on Patreon at patreon.com/TFYLP. Make sure to check out all the other TF Talk Network shows. But we got on Friday is Rick's pre-recorded Cut the Tape segments. Usually on Sundays is our TF Talk News by Mr. Starscream. On most Sundays. Monday is, of course, our bread and butter show, TFYLP, aired here on YouTube at 8:30 Central. And then, of course, Tuesday over on Facebook is Microcasters, where they review a single toy on Facebook at 8:30. And, of course, we're on all the social media crap. We're on Discord. You can find a link in the video. We're on Facebook. We have a page as well as a group, and those links are also in the description. Always hit us up. We chat in Discord quite a bit as well, so... I think with that, we're out, and we will see you at the next show. So, night, everybody.
All right.
Good one.